evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining in this meeting today. I hope you all are ready. We are ready to start. Today is going to be a very, very power-packed session because today's session is going to talk about two of our strongest programs that we offer at ISD. I'm quickly going to share my screen as well so that I can give you all a brief roundup on what's happening today, and then we can invite our guests to come and speak as well. Today, we're talking about how you can make a career in product design and in strategic design management. Now, these two courses, however diverse they are also very, very similar in nature. So today you're going to understand the fine line that actually separates the two programs from each other and the two different careers that are offered through these programs. That being said, this is the third session that we are having as a part of our series of careers in design. We've already had a session on communication design, and we've had a session on interior design as well. This is the third session that is going to cover product design and strategic design management. In the next few weeks, we will also be discussing the rest of the programs, that is the fashion design program, the fashion luxury and lifestyle design program, as well as the fashion communication and styling program. So that being said, November and December is going to be all about fashion. So make sure that whoever's interested, y'all can look out for your communication on your Instagram, on our Instagram channels, as well as in your mailboxes. Like I mentioned, we have 7 specializations at ISD. Each of these specializations are offered after the foundation year, which is the first year at ISD. And in this first year, you actually get a glimpse of what it would be like to study in these specializations. It will kind of give you a taster of these specializations. At the end of the 4-year program, you're going to be awarded a Bachelor of Design degree. So you're going to get a degree from us, and it's going to be very, very useful at the end of the course. But that being said, today's session is going to be all about product design, all about strategic design management. You're going to hear from multiple perspectives, okay? You're going to hear from students speaking, so you're going to hear their experience. You're going to hear from faculty speaking as well, so you know how the program was created, what it was catering to, and you know the kind of different technologies that we incorporate within the program. That's what you're going to hear from the faculty. And then you'll also be hearing from our career services head, who will tell you about the placements and internships you can get through the program as well as beyond the program. So while you're studying, you're also going to get many, many opportunities to work with top companies. Like very recently, a lot of our students got selected and hired by companies like Deloitte, Infosys, L&T, Infotech, a lot of different companies. So you'll be hearing these names, you'll be hearing from our speakers as well. So today's session, we're going to try and limit it to an hour-long session. It's going to be super interesting. So make sure you'll have all the coffee, all the apples, all the fruits that you want and cookies that you want. I have my apple ready. All right. So I'm going to be accompanied by a little fruit this evening. But that being said, I'm going to invite our first speaker, Professor Bulbul Chaudhary, who is the Dean of Admissions and International Partnerships. So if you have any questions related to admissions, related to international partnerships, how you can study abroad, and you know a variety of them, you can go ahead and ask these questions. We will be taking questions at the end of the session, so make sure that you direct your questions in the chat box. But that being said, enough of me. Bulbul ma'am, all yours. Can I please invite you on Spotlight?
Hi, Krish. Good evening. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you are.
Today is not my day, so we are not going to talk about admissions and international. Okay? Today is actually, if I may say so, Shamit, I think today is Prajna's day, right? Because early in the morning, the first message we got was that she's got a capstone internship at HSBC, which is a bank. So obviously a lot of our students and parents attending today's session, Prajna will want to know what is a design student going to do in a bank by way of a capstone. So we're going to discuss that and more, but let me quickly introduce to you what the next roughly an hour will be all about. So we're going to meet 4 people, okay? We are going to start with the gentleman who leads the team, and his name is Professor Shamit Srivastav. And Shamit, thank you for joining us. I know you've just come back from leave, and the first major event that you're doing for us is this one. So welcome back. And I feel like saying Happy New Year as well. So Professor Shamit heads, he's a program director of two of our programs. And I think these are our two power-packed programs, the product design or the product innovation program, as it says, and the strategic design and management program. Now he is here with two of his students, and Professor Shamit will decide in which order they are going to go. So the first one, the person I spoke about a little while back, is Prajna, who is currently in her final year, and she's about to do her capstone project, and I'm told that she's already got her final placement as well. Shamit, in our time and age, we didn't get our placement 6 months before we graduated. So heartiest congratulations to you, Prajna. And the other student, who's also currently actually working, and she's graduated from the product design program. And this is interesting because Prajna is from the strategic design management program, whereas Muskan is from the product design program. And thank you, Muskan, for joining as well. Muskan is joining us today from Kota, but she's working for an absolutely fabulous design firm that Professor Shamit will tell us more about, called an interesting name, which is called Frog Design. Okay. So on that note, I'm going to hand over to Professor Shamit Srivastava, who's going to tell us all about product design and strategic design. And I think, Shamit, we are very keen to know what are these programs and how are they even different? I can see there's a component of design and business in one, whereas the other talks about products. So all over to you, Shamit.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Bulbul and team, for organizing this event. Thank you, Pragya. Thank you, Muskan, for joining in. Thank you, Muskan, for taking out time. I know, as a new joinee, how difficult it would be to, take out time for events like this. But great, and welcome all the students, parents who are out here. Thank you for considering ISD as a school, that you would want to build your careers at. Before I begin, I would also like to, tell a little bit about myself, because I think that's also relevant. Because some of you might have questions that why do I lead two programs, right? So I am an engineer. I did my master's in product design from IISc Bangalore. So I did my master's in product design. I worked as a product designer for a few years to realize that design can actually bring a much larger impact in the organization. So in 2010, after working as a product designer for a few years, I joined Mahindra Automotive, and I joined Mahindra Automotive's innovation team, and they were expecting this team to define what the future of Mahindra Automotive should be like in terms of new products, in terms of their sales processes, in terms of their customer experience, all of that. That is where I realized that as a designer, I can do a lot more than just making sketches and making CAD models, and that's where my career diversified into bringing impact into the business environment. Now, after having spent a few years in the industry, I realized design education lacks this understanding, and as it happens to some of us, or maybe most of us these days, there is something called as mid-career crisis. That happened to me, and I kind of moved out of corporate to join ISDI in 2018. So I've been with ISD for close to 3.5 years now. And yeah, it's been quite an amazing journey. It's good to see, my students getting these kind of career opportunities. So that's a little bit about, me, and I'm going to talk about product design program first. After that, I'll let Muskan talk about her experiences in the program. Then we'll go into into strategic design management. I'll talk a little bit about what that program is. We'll go into really basics of that program, and then we'll let Pragya speak about her experiences. She'll talk about a few of the projects that she has done, and then we'll be open for discussion. So that's the flow. I hope that works for everyone. Okay. So I have a lot of slides, but I am going to skip a few slides because I know, Muskan and Pragya are here as well. So I'll just stay with what is really relevant in the interest of time. So before I go further into the slides, let me tell you what is so unique about product design program at ISDI compared to some of the other design schools. we as product design team at ISDI believe that product design is not just about making artifacts. Most design school practice this understanding that product design is applying craftsmanship to making products look better. While we practice that, while we do encourage our students, we do build those skills in our sophomore year, we also believe that products are now becoming part of larger systems, right? Whether you talk about a laptop, whether you talk about a phone, or whether you even talk about a refrigerator or a mixer grinder at home, everything is part of a larger system, right? And we interact with this system. We don't just interact with this product, and it is this system that creates experiences for us. So therefore, our program at ISDI also builds in some elements of technology, some elements of machine interaction, some elements of UX UI. So if I had to put this in one word, this product design program is a new age program. And that is the reason we are seeing our program being received so well in the industry, and we have been receiving so many. We are just sitting 10 days since the placement season began, and already about 20 product design students are placed. That's what Krish was talking about. That's really good news for all of us at SD, right? And as professors. So, that kind of sets a stage on what is product design at SD like, right? I'm going to quickly tell you what do you take back after you complete the program, right? We'll go into the details a little bit later, and I think Muskan will also talk about it. But product design program will help you do these things. It will develop your core skills as a product designer. Our second year, the sophomore year, focuses a lot on building sketching skills, building CAD skills. How do you represent ideas digitally? Building mock-up and models and prototyping skills. How do you represent ideas physically? How do you work in a workshop? How do you work with paper? How do you work with soft materials? Right? How do you make crude and dirty prototypes which help you develop your idea further? That's the first part. Understanding of materials and processes. A product designer, whether you are designing a chair, a light, or a car, you need to understand the properties of the material. You need to understand, how do you select materials? When do you select wood? When do you select steel? When do you select aluminum? And how can you mold them? How can you transform them into shapes? So that is something that you will learn through courses in second year. Like I said, we do build in some technology elements. I'm sure all of you out here, including parents, are aware that these days coding is being taught in schools. 8th standard and 9th standard kids are learning coding, right? So our program at ISDI also focuses on helping you develop smarter products. So you are taught courses on Arduino and coding because products are getting smarter now, right? You're not going, a chair may not be a smart product, but a lamp, a mixer grinder, a air fryer, right? Cars, they're all getting smarter. So how do you develop those products? Then coming to the systems thinking. Like I said, a product in isolation, none of the products today work in isolation. They are part of larger systems. One of the very good testimonials we always receive from the industry is that ISD students are great thinkers. They are good critical thinkers. And that thinking aspect gets developed because of courses like speculative thinking, systems thinking, design research that we teach in our program. Apart from that, we also focus a lot on industry connect. We provide great platforms for our students to also work on some live projects, such as capstone projects. And due to that, even their soft skills get developed. So that is what you're seeing in terms of fluency in presentation. Because when companies come for recruitment, and I'm sure Pragya and Muskan will touch upon that, they're not just going to look at your technical skills. They're also going to look at your attitude, your mindset, right? How do you work in teams? So we do encourage students. We do look at those aspects even in our reviews when our students do projects. And of course, like I said, I think it kind of sums up. How do you make people better individuals, personally and professionally? So we are not a school who just want to, put the skills down your throat. We want to make better citizens. We want to make better employees. We want to make better entrepreneurs for the future. So that's what this program focuses on. So I think I'll quickly talk about, I think I'll just briefly touch upon this slide. So like I said, second year is very skill based. You learn how to make products physically, digitally, you make how to sketch better. Second year, third year is where you go a little deeper into technology. You understand, materials, manufacturing processes. You understand how to bring the learnings from the users, from the context into the product. So all of that happens in third year. And fourth year is where you understand systems. You understand how to think critically, how to find opportunities to design new products. These are the core pillars of our program. Like I said, critical thinking ability, core skills development, material and process knowledge, technology application, all-round development, and industry connect. I think I've touched upon everything, but I'll go a little deeper on the industry connect. In the past 4 to 5 years, we have worked with different kinds of industry sectors. So you can see Maruti Suzuki, we worked with Autodesk on a project on designing car interiors for Maruti Suzuki. We have worked with Mondelez, the Cadbury company. In fact, we have some very, very intense relations with them. We work on multiple projects, hackathons, live projects with them. So you're seeing pictures of that. We've had Mr. Sanjay Gurubaksani, who you see here in the picture. I can see Muskan also there. So he was here to award the winners of one of the design projects that we had done for Mondelez. I'm sure you're all familiar with Kinder Joy. So Ferrero Rocher, this company had approached us, and we had dispatched more than 500 pieces of these toys designed by our students, 3D printed in our lab to their headquarters in Europe. Some quick visuals of these are very freshly baked projects. These are the projects done by our senior year students about 3 months back. These are students who have graduated. Prathamesh is currently with Infosys. He designed a tea bot. The idea was that the tea that you get in a vending machine doesn't taste like ghar ki chai, right? So why can't you solve that problem? Why can't you still, have chai patti, sugar, milk, and water added separately, and there is a machine that cooks tea the way we, cook tea. We actually cook tea. We don't make tea, right? Indians don't make tea. We cook tea. So how do you cook a tea, right? So this was a bot that was designed by Prathamesh with a design studio in Mumbai. Genome, very good news. I think Bulbul, you may also not be aware of this. Genome got placed with Shell. So Genome has got an offer with Shell. This is just a 10-day old or maybe a week old news. And this was a project that Genome did with HCL Technologies. A lot of old people don't remember when to take medicines. So she designed a very intelligent pill dispenser that can actually give you reminders, that can dispense medicine, that can have voice control so that it can tell you that दवाई लेने का समय हो गया है. So this was a project done by Genome. Rajvi Parekh, who's currently with a company called InnoMinds, she designed a very interesting service design project on how do you make home X-ray services better. A lot of diagnostic is now happening at home. Healthcare is reaching home. So how can you design that experience better? So this was one project that she did. UI UX, very important component now in our program. Ria Makhija, who is currently with, I think, TCS, she worked with a company called Fractalink for a leading bank in India. I can't name the client because we have signed an NDA with them. This bank was looking at creating a portal for its employees. A lot of employees have a lot of requests to make, leave request, loan request, provident fund request. So Ria Makhija worked with this company, with this client, to design different modules for an employee portal. So yeah, I think these are some of the projects. I think I'm going to skip a few. Another project on lighting design. Yeah, I think I should talk about this, especially the left side thing. We are very, very happy to inform you that 3 of our senior year product design students won a European Product Design Award. This news is like just a month old. And this project that you see on the screen, it is actually a door handle, which has a special liquid that allows smoke, that prevents smoke to enter the house. So if you're stuck in a building which has got fire, and most of the deaths that happen today due to fire happen due to suffocation. So this was a product that they designed. It was part of one of their courses, and they applied for a design award, and they won this award. So kind of a great pride moment of pride for us. Lastly, I'm just going to talk about placements because I'm going to let Muskan speak after this. A slightly complex slide, but I'm sure you're all familiar with the logos. So what I want to tell you is, about 75% of our students in product design take up industry jobs. About 11 to 12% go for industry studies, so for higher studies. Few join their family business. They want to take their family businesses to the next level, and maybe 1 or 2 students from a batch would want to start their own startups. So that's a typical distribution of what our students aspire to do. And out of that, about 50% jobs come from corporates. So we just mentioned the companies: Philips, Infosys, L&T, Infotech, those kind of companies. Few come from design studio. So a lot of design studios are there in all the metro cities in India. Basically, companies started by designers, and remaining are, of course, lifestyle companies, UI UX companies, startups, and stuff like that. So this is a typical distribution of the kind of jobs that our students go into, and it is across the industry sector. It is not just IT companies. It could be healthcare. It could be social impact, technology, healthcare, agriculture. So it's quite varied in that way. I think I'll stop here, and I think I can pull more slides later if there are questions. But I think it gives me a great, I would say it's a great, I would say, opportunity for me to now introduce Muskan as a alumni. I've always been introducing Muskan prior to this as a student, a very, very sincere student. But I'm so happy that we have Muskan, who's a user experience designer at Frog, our proud alumni. And I'm going to let Muskan speak about her experiences, talk a little bit about Frog, and why is Frog so aspirational company for product designers. So Muskan, over to you now.
Thank you so much, sir. And hi again, good evening, everyone. So I'll share my screen. Yeah. So to start with a short intro about myself, as you all are aware, I completed my product design graduation in 2021, and currently I'm working with Frog Design. So I have always believed in this one thing that, everything eventually connects, and somehow it has proved true for my life as well. So as I go ahead with my story, probably you can interpret that. So where do I actually belong from? If you all would have watched Kota Factory, yeah, so that's my hometown. Born and brought up in the city, which is famous for engineering. Then I spent a little bit of time in Jaipur and Pune for some studies, and then finally landed to IST at Parsons, where I studied product design for 3 years. And then here I am today with my dream job in Frog. So like every other journey, of course, this had many ups and downs, but ISTI, according to me, it played a perfect role in making it smoother. Like, not only with the help of course structure design, but also with the faculty's constant guidance. Like, even for that matter, I remember we used to annoy Shamit sir on each and everything, and like every day almost with a new problem, new issues, and he always used to hear us out. So, you know, what I mean is that they gave us the perfect platform to actually raise our voices and put forward our ideas. And that's how a design college should also work. So yeah, even when the course is designed, they took our help and our feedback in, you know, what you would want to learn or what your expectations would be from this course. So that's a little bit about from where I am and how I feel about ISDI. But to go in depth, so I've been talking about the course structure, and Shamit sir also mentioned that. So, you know, when we talk about product design, it's not just designing a physical product, but it's much more than that. At least this is one thing that I realized after coming to ISDI. So, you know, we learned physical product design in detail, starting from scratch. That is, you know, sketching simply a line to a much more complicated products. But then we also learned about manufacturing it and little bit of technical details. Then we used to make and explore. I mean, prototype anything, create mock-ups for each and everything, like create a physical product with anything that you can find around you. And that's how we start with quantity, and then we narrow it down to a quality with iterations. Then experience design. So till my third year, I never knew about this field actually. But when ISDI introduced to me this, and then they inculcated this in our course, so I can't be much more thankful. And at least this is one thing that I'm pursuing my career in. So yeah, it is the one of the most interesting part of product design according to me. Then design research was another thing that we learned. So this is something that you would fall in love if you would actually understand the details of it. Like I remember one of our incident, we were doing this one project, and we continuously did an experiment for around 8 to 10 hours, and then that was continuously being recorded on DSLR just to capture each and everything about that research. So that's what details that we used to go in. And service design, I think yeah, Shamit sir has already talked about it, so wouldn't go in details of this specific field. But then coming to next one, that is system thinking. I think this was also covered by Shamit sir. This is one of the field that actually helped me with my job as well. Like right now, because with design research and system thinking, we learned many new tools, and these are the tools and processes that actually helped me in ideating and all those things. So that's what about this one. And then yeah, some of us had this speculative design, which actually means understanding trends and you know, speculating future design. So what would the future look like? Then that's what I like. We not only learned product design, but it was much more than that. It was much more about experience or building a brand, building an entire service around it, or thinking or integrating or interrelating each and every aspect of that process. Then yeah, I think Shamit sir, you were also talking about Cello. So that is one thing that I was part of. And you know how this project helped me was because this was a live industry project. We used to interact one-on-one with our clients, and that's what we also do in company. So when we have to pitch, and now we are little confident about it, about our soft skills, because we had already developed all those in our college. So that really helps us a lot. Then competitions. So yeah, and advice, please to take part in competitions as much as possible. It's going to help you all a lot. Like especially with industry, we actually realize what is going on in the market, how they would interpret our design, how do they understand it, how would they analyze it, and what could be the outcome, or how you can maybe iterate your design and make better design choices. So that's why this is one thing that you should always take part in and be aware of it at least. Then of course, studies was like always one side, but there were many fun moments as well. So you know, the journey was always inspiring, but it was much more about fun that we all had as a batch and with our faculties. Like there were too many visits to museums or to, you know, manufacturing companies just to learn those simple manufacturing process. For example, how the plastic is manufactured, or how there is something that needs to be done to the metal. or how the wood manufacturing helps. So those little processes also we used to directly get from the company perspective. So we used to visit directly those manufacturing companies, we used to learn from them, learn from their workers, and that's what helped us. Then we used to 3D print our own designs. So it's like basically watching your own design watching your own design come alive. And then we were also talking about coding some time back. So yeah, like we used to, where we coded this one thing and we created a fire brigade kinda. And then basically, you know, we had this entire water tank and a pipeline connected, and we were controlling it with the remote. So those were like really cool moments. Then yeah, daily workshop sessions, like even in offline classes these workshop sessions were even in online classes these workshop sessions were conducted like way too nicely. I remember I saw these Insta reels where juniors used to make things with vegetable peels. So just finding any material and creating what you want, it was all about that. Then this next image was that experiment that I was talking about. Then last, yeah, even though we had to shift to online class, we did complete like properly, and we had our convocation and everything online. So yeah, I mean that was the first time I was actually attending any such classes online. So that was again a great experience, and I don't think we ever missed out on anything, even though if it was online at that point. Then a little bit of background about the company. So I work in Frog Design. Basically, this has actually been my dream job, and I can't be more excited to announce it that, you know, I'm finally here. And to talk about Frog, we are basically 50 to 51 years old company. And if you would have heard about Apple's Macintosh, so we are the ones who actually designed it. Apple's Mac, their computer, the one that we all have been using since years. Then design and strategy company. So we are also not focused only on product, but also experience, service, or for that matter, brand, as well as defining an entire organization. So yeah, I mean, as I mentioned, in short, it's more about customer strategy or growth strategy or product design, or maybe an entire activating an entire organization, or understanding the market and then designing a brand, or defining an entire organization or businesses. I think, yeah, coming to this section, it's not only about that. So we also have different verticals like sustainability or service design or system or design research. So, you know, when we learned all this in ISDI, it did help me actually join any of this vertical and actually help the company as well. So that are some of the plus points that I've always had in my company, that, you know, I already have a little bit of background. So it's much more easier for me to get into any of these field right now. Then yeah, now because we are a part of Capgemini, which is actually a French company, we are everywhere. But I am working in a Gurgaon studio or a Delhi studio right now. And yeah, we have been establishing offices in Mumbai, Pune slowly under Capgemini. So I think, yeah, that's it. I wouldn't bore you about Frog and all, but yeah, that's it about me. And you can contact me anytime, anywhere over LinkedIn, Insta. So yeah, if you have any questions.
Thank you, Muskan. I think I have been part of many of those milestones, so I can definitely relate to all of those. And we all wish that your career keeps leapfrogging in frog design, right? I hope that happens. So yeah, I think we'll take questions towards the end.
Yeah.
We'll now move to SDM, Strategic Design Management, and yes, I'm going to again use some slides. But before I go to the slides again, I think I must tell you that strategic design management, the name definitely sounds very heavy, very complex. And that is the reason that, my initial part of the presentation is about simplifying that program to you. I'll also spend 1 minute talking about how strategic design as a discipline emerged. So many decades back, when design itself is still very, I would say, relatively new, right? Engineering and medical and sciences have been there for so long. Design came many decades back. What people started realizing is design is not just about providing aesthetic value to products or to services, but design is something that can also transform businesses. Design kind of thinking can also help CEOs achieve their aspirational goals. It is also about helping entrepreneurs launch their new products. So as the significance of design in the industry is growing, design education, within design education, strategic design as a field emerged. And Parsons, we are very happy to say that Parsons was one of the first schools to start that program. Parsons SDM program has been very successfully running for many years, and we started ISDI we started SDM at ISDI, I think in the year 2015, and we've had so far about 2 batches graduate from there, right? So without spending much more time, let me quickly tell you. So I always use this slide, okay? I always use this slide because this is the best way I can explain this to students, and I believe a lot of parents out here. Strategic designers are the Sherlocks of the business, right? They are the people who draw meaning out of the current situation of the company, of the industry, of the trends, of the consumers, and they are the ones who suggest what should the company do in the future, right? So essentially, a strategic designer is like a Sherlock Holmes, right? This is another way of showing what strategic designers do. So strategic designers are a good blend of analyzing the existing scenario and using that to imagine what the future scenario could be. So they are analytical as well as creative in nature. So if you have to ask me one difference between product designer and let's say strategic designer, I would say that a product designer the creative element product designer is going to be very high. The analytical element of a product designer is going to be less, because they are not trained to look at business and numbers. Whereas strategic designers, they definitely have a good creative capabilities, but they also are taught analytical skills. They are also taught marketing, they are also taught branding, they are also taught a little bit of finance. Okay, so therefore the word management in strategic design management. But it is not a MBA program, it is not a BBA program. Why? Because 80% of the things that we teach are still creativity, design, and everything that you saw in Muskan's presentation. But there is a 20% element or a 25% element which is related to analytical thinking or to a business kind of a thinking. So that's the first difference. And therefore, strategic designers are people who use both their left brains and right brains. I think again, it connects to the earlier slide that they are not just right brain people, but they are also people who are analytical in their thinking. So because of that, they don't just solve existing problems, but they also identify the future opportunity for the business. Now, some students ask that product designers design artifacts, interior designer design spaces, fashion designers design outfits and garments. What do strategic designers design? There are n number of answers for that. Strategic designers design business. There is a course called Business Design and Planning, very, very successful course in every design school. They design services, Zomato, Uber, Urban Clap, Urban Company, right? Airbnb. What are these? These are services. These services didn't existed many decades back, but there is someone who's thinking about a need for such services, right? That is a strategic thinking. This is how typically a course, these are different courses that strategic designers do. And if you look at every box here, there is going to be at least one course which is going to be inclined towards analytical thinking or business thinking. For example, in the first one, there is marketing. In the second one, there is quantitative reasoning. In the third one, there is financial methods, right? In the fourth one, there is strategic planning. And in the fifth one, there is business models. So there is one course every semester which is business related, and we don't teach them in a business way. We teach them in a way that they can make connection to their design learnings, right? I think I'll leave this. So what do you, after the end of 4 years, what do you become? Like what kind of qualities you have, right? So you have a good fundamentals of business understanding. You understand how to, how to connect design to business, how to apply design to help business look into the future, right? You also, look at system thinking, which is you use research, you use trend mapping to define again what the organization or what the startup should be focusing on. Yes, our students again, as in product design, we also focus on building an all-round skills. So fluency in communication, professional practices, business ethics, leadership, those are some of the courses that our students do. It is of course backed by very expert faculty team. I think I'll just talk about one of the projects here. So what you see on the screen is a project done by one of the students. This was a project done, a classroom project. So Bata, as we all know, Bata actually has got 13 brands under its umbrella, but people only know Bata, right? Other brands like Dr. Stoll or Marie Claire or other brands of Bata are not very popular. So how do you increase the visibility of other brands was something that Vama, a student, was trying to understand, and she collaborated with an interior design student to come up with this design of a retail store. Moving on, I also have a project that Pragya is going to present, so I'm going to skip this project. Apart from that, I'll also tell you that strategic designers are very multidisciplinary in nature. So they also learn communication design skills. They also learn how to represent data. They also learned how to make packaging. So if you're looking right now on your screen, this is Balaji Wafers, right? I'm sure you all know that brand. So this was a packaging idea done by, again, Pragya and few of her classmates in a course called Folklores. So how can you look at the past or how can you look at the cultural impact in the past, and how can you bring back those cultural significance into packaging? This was something that was done by some of the students. Moving on. Yeah, we also have a lot of fashion enthusiast students coming and joining SDM program. And these are students who don't want to design garments and design, do fashion design kind of work. They are students who are interested in fashion industry, more on the entrepreneurship or the business side of the industry. So a project that you're seeing here was a project done by a fashion design student called Dhwani. And Dhwani's project was to use waste flower dyeing to create, to create different garments. So waste flower dyeing was used, and a strategic design student, Prathna, helped Dhwani create a whole business plan, create a whole business model around how can this be taken to the market. How can garments made out of these kind of a pigment can be taken to the market. So SDM students also collaborate a lot with other students. I'll come to last slide before I hand it over to Pragya. The question would be, what kind of jobs do strategic designers get? Strategic designers can work in big corporates, they can work in design studios, they can work in business consulting companies and startups. So in corporate, there are strategy functions in corporate, big corporates. A lot of design corporates are now wanting to hire designers so that they can bring design thinking into their practice. So that is one place. Design studios, basically design companies who have been into existence for a long time, they want to diversify into strategic design consulting. That is a space. And our students are ticking all these boxes here. Business consulting. McKinsey, Deloitte, PwC, these are the kind of business consulting companies who always hire from big business schools or the tier 1 business schools, but now they also want to hire designers, because now they realize that designers can bring in a completely different paradigm of thinking that management students cannot get in. So yes, they want management students, but they also want fresh thinking to come in. And we have had students in Deloitte. We also had an example of a student who's getting an offer from PwC. So yeah, that's one space. And yes, if you do SDM, you are much better place to start your own company, right? Because you understand business fundamentals much better than some of the other designers. So that's very briefly about what SDM is. I'm going to let Pragya, who's again been a outstanding student in the SDM program. And Pragya, over to you. And once again, congratulations from all of us for Deloitte placement and for HSBC Capstone. Yes, all over.
Thank you so much. So, I mean, thank you everyone for the opportunity to begin with. And I'll just share my screen. So I'd like to take you a little bit through like one of the projects that I'd done in my second year. And I thought that'll give you a better idea about a real view of what we do in SDM and the different kind of courses we have. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, maybe you can make it full screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a second, sir. Sorry. Yeah, can everyone see it?
Yes, all set. Go ahead.
Okay, sure. So I think Shamat sir was talking about one of the things we do as strategic design managers is we design services. And he also mentioned a couple of big services that are out there like Zomato, Uber, and Airbnb, so on and so forth. So the course that we were working on was the service design course, where we had to design a service and basically solve a problem. So one of the core attributes, I think, of an SDM designer is trying to solve a problem and creating a change. So the problem that I was looking at was basically transforming the e-commerce packaging service. So basically what I realized was all around us, there are a lot of extra packaging that's been there, right? I think in everyone's house, you can see an extra Amazon dabba or a Flipkart dabba just lying around everywhere and anywhere. So I realized two main problems that are existing in our economy right now was one, excessive waste, packaging waste, and second was the lack of surveillance over the issue. So I tried overcoming the problem by creating an interactive ecosystem that helps human beings to package and to take care of the disposal better. And it tried to improve consumption patterns, trying to improve packaging, and also improve how people use the entire waste management process that's out there. Like in any design project, just taking you a little more, I think the things you'll be introduced to in college is we follow a process. So it's not very outcome driven, it's more process driven, right? So you're never butchered about whether your solution is good or not. It's always about the thought process and the kind of impact that you want to create. And we use a lot of different design tools to understand the people better. So ideally, we create services for people, right? Ideally, designers, we try solving problems for people. So the different tools that we have are basically used to try understanding a user's better, creating more impactful solutions, and also explaining our solutions better. So moving on, the way I initially started off my project was trying to understand our entire system of the packaging industry. So the way I started off was to understand primary, secondary, and tertiary, primary being most important. And I interviewed a lot of stakeholders. The stakeholders that I was focusing upon were consumers who used a lot of e-commerce packaging platforms, a lot of packaging companies, retailers, delivery persons, rack pickers, and even ratiwalas. I did not want to exclude anybody, and I tried to understand different perspectives to create a more effective solutions. So a couple of the problems that we immediately noticed, and upon deep diving that turned out to be real problems, was there were a lack of flexible packaging options, which consumers pointed out. There was no good disposal system, which is pointed out by retailers. And there was also a lack of upcycling and a lack of economic incentives to motivate people for packaging. And this was told by a packaging company owner as well. So it is very interesting to get different perspectives to create an effective solution. To further understand what problems that the users were facing, we use a lot of tools like I was talking about. One of the tools that we use is called a user journey map. Like the name suggests, we try understanding the journey of the user and try empathizing with the problems that they have. So the problems that we focused and we looked at were there's a lack of education, there was a need for circular packaging, so reducing and minimizing waste, and also a better feedback system to make customers more sustainable. We also looked at the different behaviors that customers had and the way they were understanding the problems that they were facing. And to make sense of all the information that we had, we did the affinity mapping. So that basically takes all the information, breaking it down into smaller parts to create inferences. So this is also how data analysis works, which is basically taking all the data you have and making some sense out of it. So the four main topics that we realized and we could make sense out of was about disposal, it was about upcycling, awareness, and also effectiveness of packaging. And the two main things that I was trying to focus on was about disposal and awareness. So how might we create an environmental friendly incentive mechanism to encourage disposal? And also how might we create awareness for consumers? Because we were also initially talking about how awareness about the packaging industry. So we tried developing multiple ideas to create effective solutions. And the way we try developing ideas is we go all broad and all out with different tools. So we tried stimulating ourselves to think about the different possible solutions that we can create for people. And the difference that strategic design management provides is we tried thinking of solutions that are not only effective for people, but they also provide business opportunities and they also leverage technology. So it tries to take the triad of all three to create an effective solution. Simplifying the process, the solution that I created was Packyard. So it was all about transforming the future sustainably. So right now we have a linear process of packaging where a lot of things goes to waste. And I tried creating a circular economy. So how it works is you take packages and you reuse them, you recycle them, or you upcycle them. And in case you tend to reuse them, then you can also use a Packyard stamp with it that creates an incentive for people to see more stamps with packages. I also detailed out a lot of aspects of the service and how the service could be funded, how people could be incentivized to use the service, how the service could be collaborated, and also how we could create awareness for the service. So every aspect of the service was looked at to make it more impactful. It was also looked at how the service would work. Basically, the problem that people faced was when they were opening packages, people open it very recklessly and roughly. So identifying that major issue in allowing people to comfortably open packages properly. And also every time when you use it, like I was talking about creating a Packyard stamp, right? So you feel like you're doing something good for the community and it incentivizes you to do better. I also depicted the entire solution through a storyboard. So it'd be comfortable for someone to look at the entire process and the journey of it. So I created an application because like how would anybody use Packyard if they were in different places, right? And obviously the one-stop solution is to create an application that could comfortably use at the click of a phone. And the way I created it was I created an information architecture and I leveraged a couple of applications such as those of InVision and Axure to create it. So the features that the Packyard application have were about Packyard itself, because it was a novice service. I wanted to educate people about the problems in the packaging industry and also the different services it offered. So it offered services on how you could integrate it with e-commerce platforms, how you could see the different packaging options, how you could give back the packages based on a calendar format, and also how you could receive pack bonds. I also created a couple of screens here that you can see about Packyard itself in terms of the mission and vision, the awareness and the collaboration. And a couple of important services and important service functions that Packyard has was promoting circular actions. So basically creating a community where people are more conscious and sustainable, also offering reusing and upcycling options and also recycling options. So we're targeting every touch point of the problem and trying to create an effective solution that can be integrated together. So coming towards the end of the project, basically we tried creating an application that promotes positive behavior changes in people to reduce wastage. It also tried reducing the carbon footprint of the packaging industry, and it was also a holistic packaging solution. So any aspect of packaging would come under it, right? It collaborated with Ratiwalas. It also tried improving the packaging industry with integrating with e-commerce and whatnot, and also creating a circular future forward, because I feel like there is a point where we should stop creating more waste considering we have only one planet that we live in. So this is a snippet of the project that I worked on.
Shamita, I want this project to go to Amazon, please.
Yeah, there are quite a high potential projects. In fact, Muskan didn't present IRCTC as well. I think that had a potential as well. Pragya, quickly, do you want to just tell us a little bit in 1 minute about your experience in the last 4 years?
Yeah, for sure.
Project is understood. I think you
Yeah.
explained it quite well. Yeah.
So I actually got into ISDI wanting to explore myself creatively as a designer, and I didn't know about strategic design management in all honesty in my first year. Towards the end of the first year, when we were introduced to different courses, that's when I heard about this program. So I feel like you should definitely leverage the opportunity that you already know a discipline like this exists, and you're getting a lot of information about it. And having gone through the course, I learned a plethora of different skills. So it is not, I think Muskan also mentioned it, it was not only design skills that I focused upon. I also learned personal skills of how to communicate effectively, how to, collaborate with others and work towards creating a better solution. And I feel like if I probably saw my student self, like if someone when I was in 12th saw me like the way I was today, it will be like a huge positive change for myself. And I'm really proud of that as well. So I think it's been a really wonderful course, and you can definitely connect with any of the students here in the SDM program, or I could say even for the PD program. And we're all ready to help you with anything that you want. And we would love to know more about you and anything. So yeah.
Thank you, Pragya. Thank you, Muskan, once again. Bulbul, over to you, and I think Charmin is here as well. So yeah.
Yeah, I've got a question for Charmin, but before that, I'm going to thank you, Pragna, for this question. I was curious to ask, where are you joining us from today?
I'm joining from Chennai now.
And where did you school? Where did you do your 12th?
I did it in Chennai itself, actually.
So which one? Sisya, that's one school I know in Chennai.
I studied in BVM. It's a school near Shishya. So yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And Shamit, I was just remembering something. One of a famous product designer in India, Anuj Prasad, once said, and he says all the most recent successful companies, whether it is WhatsApp, Insta, Twitter, have all been started by designers. And just listening to Pragna, I knew exactly why. Because it's holistic, it's right-brained, it's left-brained. It's about making changes in people's habits, not just looking at a quick fix solution. And I think this project is a deep insight into really how strategic designers or even designers problem solve. So they solve problems for generations to come, and not just something that seems at the face of it. So great. Thank you so much for that sharing. And I think our last speaker for the day is Charmin. Charmin, you've been with us in the last two sessions as well, when you talked about communication design and careers in communication design. We've already heard from Shamit and both his wonderful students about Philips and PwC and Frog and HSBC and all the wonderful capstone projects and internships. But really, if you can just summarize, what kind of organizations do product designers and strategic designers work in? What kind of roles and responsibilities do they handle? And if it's okay to ask, what kind of possibly compensations are offered to students as freshers?
Yeah, if we start with the compensation part, which is the most attractive part, the highest of the compensation which is offered to the students, the design students, is between the competition is always between communication design, product design, and SDM. And this year we have got an offer of 24 lakhs as a package to our undergraduate program student. So just to give you an outline that this is how this particular design stream is growing. So the students or the audience who is hearing us is hearing, I mean, it might sound very technical from your point of view that Pragya is talking about so many things, tools, apps and everything. See, her journey right from the first year till this point has made her evolved and has made her a designer who can easily help the organization to build up. Any organization who is coming to us is wanting a change in their system itself. They are feeling that yes, designers can bring that positive change in the system. When I speak to a company, they say that three things which we are looking from a designer's perspective and from your students is, number one, they should be able to handle global projects. Is the exposure enough in the system where they can handle a client who is outside India? Can they understand those problems? Second, they always tell me that the students should be adaptable, agile, should be coming as, and the commitment level of a student, the articulation, the soft skills, everything should be perfect. When we say perfect, it doesn't mean that the student is 100% all okay, but the thing is the approach towards learning, sincerity has to be there. And the third very important thing, what kind of change that particular student can bring to our company or our organization, our setup. So all these things comprise together the building or the nurturing which we give to our students right from first year. So I can say with conviction, because I have been placing the students for past 7 years now in the design segment. Before that, I was handling the management, and the kind of talent, the creativity which comes out of the design team, of course, is incomparable to anyone. Very important, yes, the points where we say which kind of companies or roles which come to the campus. See, a product designer, you must have heard everything about the discipline, the kind of prospects they have. So if I talk about the companies, I have companies like JSW Realty. They are hiring interior designers, they are hiring product designers, and they are hiring strategic design management students. So when they hire, so that means they need a product designer, they need an interior designer for their projects which are currently running. They hire architects, but they hire interior designers to work with them. Second part is when the students, the product designers, what they do is creating certain products, artifacts, they can be lifestyle accessory products or anything which are used in that particular segment. Third category is the strategic design management program, wherein they hire those students to plan a business strategy and to run. I mean, during the time of COVID, when companies were not hiring at all, we got maximum number of offers for the students. So this is something which is very encouraging both for the students and the team, because yes, we feel that this is an upcoming industry. This is the industry which is very much sought after. Then there are roles. When we come over to the roles, it can be, when we received the role from Deloitte, it was an analyst role. Any student from the design discipline could apply for this analyst role. Now, under analyst role, the bifurcation or the description for the role was into UX, that is user experience, create the user experience, have the user interface technology. I mean, the student should be technology oriented, user interface, or maybe a visual designer as such. We come over to the product side. So each product design student could apply for this particular role. We have the roles like packaging design. So when Pragya spoke about the packaging waste, the material, the sustainable material, or the different kinds of materials are also being experimented by the students, and they create and they get into the packaging designing. We have agencies like media agencies, big places like Landor, Fitch. All these places also hire strategic design management students because they are helpful in the strategizing of the branding part. So whatever business comes to them, they also work at the back end. The SDM students work at the back end to plan for the media, plan for the branding, plan for, and also strategize the business and how it can, they can solve current problems, business problems. So I am talking in the layman terms so that the students who are attending this can at least understand that design is going to be everywhere. We were talking about design into the segments like Aditya Birla Group or Ambuja Cement. They are hiring designers from us. So what do? They have actually helped the processes to take place, identify the problem areas, and solve those problem areas. So they are working as a I mean, it can be an associate consultant or a consultant role or an analyst role. If you see the word analyst, what does it mean? Analyze the problems and come back with the solution. So these are the kind of opportunities which we are getting. We are getting opportunities from KPMG, PwC, as we have mentioned. We have studios like Frog Design, we have Rabia Gupta, we have Landor, we have Fitch, who are hiring from us, both product designers and communication designers, as well as strategic design management students. Just today, we have received an opportunity from Publicis Group for all their group companies. So just today, and I have to announce to the students, because what they see that yes, SD students can be well adapted to not only one segment, but also to the other businesses of theirs. When we say other businesses, there is health segment, there's healthcare, there is health tech, there is engineering part there. So last year, one of our student had gone into vehicle, Ampere vehicle. So he was designing vehicles, two-wheelers, and working on the system where he can make it more sustainable. So even my student from 2021 batch, Prithviraj, had gone into wayfinding. As he applied in one of Bentel and worked and is now working as wayfinding designer. So the signage you see at the stations, at the roads, at anywhere, or at the malls, the signages, that particular is, I mean, we have never thought that it requires certain designing sensibility also. And that particular stream is altogether working independently. So yeah, so all these things have come up with us, and believe me, this is an upcoming industry, and you must take up the industry which is in demand today.
Thank you, Sharmeen. That was very insightful. I can see a message on the chat box, and I'm going to take the liberty to announce that. So a parent has asked, what is the median if 24 was the highest? So I think for product design and for strategic design, I'll take the liberty to say approximately 8 lakhs is where it averages out.
Yes.
Which is brilliant in my opinion. So thank you so much for that, Sharmeen. I don't see any other questions. If there's any other questions that any of you attending today's session would like to ask, kindly post it on the chat box, or you could even unmute yourself or raise your hand, and one of us will unmute yourself if you can't do it already by yourselves. Meanwhile, Muskan, and so there's a little secret I'm going to reveal. We normally start the session at 5 in the evening. Today we started the session at 5:30 because Muskan had a client meeting at 5 o'clock. So Muskan, I hope we didn't rush you into finishing that meeting, and I hope it went well. But you know, what a proud moment for all of us. Whereas there are great jobs and great employment and great careers, and there's a whole life waiting out there for all of you to embrace, both of you to embrace, and all the other students who today you represent. And a little back earlier, Shamit, you also showed us a slide of Jeenam Dedia, who's now working in Shell. And, you know, when I was in, Jeenam was once making a presentation to a couple of university guests we'd received from UK about that water, you know, the machine that reminds you to drink water.
Yeah.
Your desk, yeah. And she was explaining, and she was barely in the second or the third year at that point. And I had exactly the same experience that day as I had today listening to Pragna and Muskan. And that feeling was, you know, at such a young age, they're so articulate, but more importantly, the confidence, at the same time, the humility that they can express themselves with, which comes, I think it comes from a very deep sense of purpose and just being brilliant at what you do and just doing it completely right. You know, the process is so beautiful, and I mean, and it shows in every word, you know, in every expression. And I have to confess that, you know, Muskan, for many of us, including me, I don't think I can ever articulate the way both of you can at ages so young. So all the very best to both of you. And to you, Shamit sir.
I want to say, want to mention here, Muskan was working late night yesterday, and she sent me a message which I saw in the morning as I was sleeping. And she sent the message that, ma'am, Frog Design has opened the internships now. And I had spoken to the design head of Frog, Siddharth Singh, and when I asked him that when are you opening up positions for internship, he said immediately, your student Muskan will make sure that it reaches you on time. And today, I even got the message from Siddharth saying that I have opened the positions for internship, and now your students can apply. So Muskan has created such a difference that the companies are writing to me saying that yes, please send your students or ask your students to apply. They should not miss this opportunity, and we should not miss this opportunity to have these students, such brilliant students, such creative students on board. Thank you, Muskan, for that. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for all the opportunity that you people have given us. Like,
Shamit, your chest must be swelling and how, right? If I were you. Okay, Shamit, there's a quick question for you that's asked by, I think, one of the students or parents is, can a product designer also get into transportation design or animation design? Transportation design for sure, yes. Animation,
Yeah, I think if you want to go the animation design way, I think communication design would be a better foundation. Right, so you could do communication design and you can build your expertise in animation. But if you want to become transportation designer, of course, now transportation design as a program has started in some of the schools, which are still in very initial stages. But I think the best way to do is come to a product design program, get a more holistic learning experience, more holistic skill development in a product design program, and then build your expertise in transportation design. Transportation design requires, I would say, a very powerful hand-on skills, right? So if you take any automobile designer, including, let's say, Pratap Bose, who has visited us, right, Bulbul, who currently heads the design for Mahindra, they look at skills. You have to be sketching even when you're sleeping, right? That's the kind of level you have to be if you have to become a transportation designer. We do teach you those skills, but it is all about how do you practice and how do you go about it. So the best part of design, whether it is product design or strategic design, and I believe even other design program, is you can carve out your own paths. Okay, we are not here to tell you that you have to only do this, right? And I think that's what I think Muskan and Pragya's journey are also going to be like. We never said, Muskan, you should go and work in a design studio and become a UX UI designer. She herself mentioned that she figured that out maybe in her semester 6, right? That I learned product design, I learned UX UI, but now maybe UX UI is the area where I want to deep dive into. So if you want to become a transportation designer, maybe by the time you complete your 3rd year, you figured it out that enough of learning product design. Now I should build my capabilities, start building my portfolios on transportation design. So for transportation design, product design is the gateway. For animation, I would say you could explore other programs, or you could take communication design and build your expertise in that. Yeah.
Great, thank you for that, Shamit. Yes, indeed. I think animation, if one was to study at ISD, then one would either look at communication design or the animation pathway inside of our film school. Those are the more organic paths to look at animation. Fantastic. Thank you everyone for joining. And once again, thank you to the mentors and the mentees who could join our session today, and all the students who tuned in to listen to Careers in Product and Strategic Design as curated at ISD. Thank you.